Good morning. Hello. I'm currently driving. I felt really called to share something. I've been watching this fucking phenomenal, beautiful show on Netflix called, it's a 4-episode series called All the Light We Cannot See. And it takes place in a town in France called Saint-Malo during near the end of the German occupation, or rather the Nazi occupation, during World War II, and it is so brilliant. I suggest you watch it. It's not your typical World War II kind of thing. Like, it really humanizes a lot of the characters, even the Nazis, which I really love, because guess what? They are human. Not condoning any of the atrocities, but calling it what it is. In the second episode, this isn't like a huge spoiler or anything, so no worries. In a flashback, one of the characters who was entering the essentially like a Nazi school where they're gonna quote unquote make him more man than he could ever be, which is brutal. Thank you for your patience. The doctor is assessing him, and he walks into the room not knowing what he's getting himself. Well, he didn't get himself into it; it was forced. And the doctor asks, "Who are you?" And he gives his name, and the doctor, like with the glasses, "Who are you?" And he's like, he says his name, Sir? His name, Sir Heil Hitler? He's just like throwing things out. He's like, what does he want? What's the answer he wants? And he just raises his voice. He's like, when I ask, who are you? You tell me your race, because your race is who you are. And my mind went, whoa! Okay, spiritual message here. If we could boil down, and this might be an oversimplification, and this is for this specific thing I'm talking about, but what's coming through is, if we could boil down what went on with the Nazis, we could call it racism. It's this, this is the superior race, and anything else is wrong, but especially if you're Jewish. And this character is an orphan, and his mother was definitely of, the Aryan race, whatever that even means, blonde hair, blue eyed, like whatever the lineage is. But the father was unknown. And so the guy's like, if there's any bit of Jew in you, you're dead. And I'm going to do a full body assessment. I'm going to measure your lip width and your nose and your eyebrows and your arms and your chest, your neck, just like measuring the body head to toe to like anatomically track this lineage to make sure that he wasn't born under a different race. And so all this to say, racism, discrimination, like you're different, this and that. But above all of that, even let's zoom out higher. At the root of it, it's body identification. It's believing so hard that I am this body, and who you are is that body. Your race is who you are. Wrong. Not true. Now, I've read about and studied and spoken with different people in different religions and spiritual practices, spiritualities. What other words can I use for this belief systems? And what I find is a lot of them intersect. And what it looks like to me, in like a symbolic image, is there's the truth, which is like, let's imagine the sun in the sky, and all the religions and spiritualities are fingers pointing at the truth. So the religion is not the end all be all. The spirituality, the form, the way it looks, the way that people dress, the practices, the things they do, none of that is the thing. Those are all like coming from their way of being in devoting or self-studying to that thing, to find out what that thing is, to devote themselves to that thing. Source, God, creator, the universe, unity, singularity, oneness. And I've actually found that from this place of openness, and when you listen to the words of other religions and spiritualities, you can, like, if you can get past the words, which is form. We're talking about formless and form. If you can read between the lines, that's formless. That's spirit. If you get attached on the form, like the body, if you get attached on the form, that's it. You're playing with shadows. That's the illusion part. Because that part is always changing. Form is always changing. The formless is unchanging. It is the laws of the universe. It is just immutable, invincible for all eternity. And so I find that I can talk to a Christian, and mind you, there are some, let's say, some dogmatic, cultish things that you can hear in different religions and spiritualities and stuff. And once you get to a certain point of understanding and just being able to discern what truth is, you could be like, oh, wow, cool. Pick that off. It's like you got your food and there's some like dirt on it. And you're like, oh, let me just wash this real quick. I know it's truth. I went to a friend's wedding maybe a year or two ago, and I hadn't been to a Catholic mass in a very long time, since high school, when I denounced religion completely. And after having gone through my spiritual awakening and healing my relationship with the word God and with the concept of Christ, thanks to Aaron Abke's teaching, A Course in Miracles, Ram Dass, Michael Mirdad from Sedona, Arizona. He's a great preacher. I ended up listening to this sermon, this homily that the priest was giving, and it was wonderful. There were so many sentences and themes and motifs that I was like, that's truth, that resonates. I had some tears in my eyes. And then he'd say like a thing about love, and I'm like, that's not love, buddy. That's attachment. That's a special relationship. That's one where you think that the other person is gonna fulfill you. Nah, that doesn't vibe. But I didn't have to dwell on it. It's just like, oh, no, not that. I'll just wait until the truth comes. Oh, there's the truth. Yeah, nice. And now I'm vibing. And it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. But all of that, just like a roundabout way to come back to this German doctor, whatever he was, who was doing this assessment of this guy. He's like, congratulations, you're not a Jew, and you survive, and now you can join our wonderful academy, which is garbage, and it's just so toxic and really, really, really shitty. Like they beat the shit out of him. It was, and they yell, and they pretty much just torture the humanity out of you. Try to get every little last bit of light. Try to get you to give all of it up and just be brainwashed and just be in separation, in scarcity, in lack, in hate. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah. So let's bring it back to body identification. I don't know what you subscribe to. I don't know what you believe in. To me, in my experience, from my own personal experiences that I've had with God, mystical experiences in plant medicine ceremony, no, they are not hallucinations. All I can tell you is it's something that you'd have to experience for yourself, because when I tell you that I've experienced things that in my heart of hearts I know is more real than this reality, like that's a powerful statement, but I can't prove that to you. That's on you to figure that out. if you're really curious and you want to investigate that. But when it comes to body identification, we're not a body. A body, the person is short for personality, and that's all in the brain. That's neural patterns that have fired and wired and rewired over and over again, that start with thoughts and feelings, that create habits, that create patterns, that create over time moods, and over time personality. And that's a lot of times people say this thing like, that's just who I am, like really like planting the flag and building the walls around, this is who I am. That's probably your personality. And if you're doing that, you're really making it a lot more difficult for you to change for the better, for your own benefit, for the benefit of others. That's personality. So we have body, personality. These are all a part of who we are on the highest level, but they are not exclusively what we are. What we are is spirit, the formless, this immutable essence that is conscious awareness. It's that place we go to in ourselves when someone asks, are you aware right now? Are you aware? And you're like, I am. And there's just silence. It's I am. Like my teacher, Aaron Abke, says, your name is not the most intimate way that you refer to yourself. What's your name? Oh, my name is Nik Olas. The most intimate thing is... Oh, what's a question that I wouldn't... whatever. The I thought. When I say I, I'm pointing to within my chest, the heart chakra, the seat of the soul. I am. First person, present tense. There's no past, there's no future. I never exist in a past, and I never exist in a future. Those are all mental constructs. So body identification. Racism is just really, really, really believing that you're a body, and therefore projecting that onto everyone else and saying, oh, because you were born into that body, this must be true about you. If you were born into that body, that must be true about you. But if you're born into a body like mine, then that's obviously the better body. Or if you practice a religion like mine, that's a better religion. Form. We're getting attached to form. But the I am that is operating each and every one of these, it's kind of like Wi-Fi. Think of us as computers. But think of the body complex as like a computer. But the soul, the spirit, is this like a Wi-Fi signal that exists in every inch and speck of the universe, the multiverse, all of existence. There is no spot in any of existence that does not contain this Wi-Fi network. And the Wi-Fi network is God. It is I am. And so my I am, this awareness that is existing here and now, is the same I am that you are, or that you am, we am. That's oneness. We're all one. And so that's why it's so crazy to see, at least in the show, bringing it back to all the light we cannot see, these children, these young boys in adult meat suits with these nice Calvin Klein Nazi uniforms, marching into a town with guns, forcing people to do whatever the fuck they want, burning the books, making sure they can't listen to science and educate themselves on truth or have kindness. And it's just like, wait, y'all are just little kids playing a game. Y'all are little tyrants playing a game. But those Nazi characters, they're just asleep to the fact that they are the I am that is in the people that they are persecuting and killing. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Would you do that to yourself? Would you do that to your mother? To someone you love dearly? And I'm working with compassion with it too, because I got really fucking pissed watching that show. I'm like yelling at the TV, like, you're not a body, man. What? Damn it. It's just, it really, and I sat this morning with God and I'm like, help me find compassion. That's a rough one. How can I find compassion for the Nazis? And I think, and I always go back, Jordan Peterson helped me with this one. Most of the Nazi soldiers were just German civilians, or, people that fit their Aryan race lineage, anatomy, whatever, the genetics, whatever. And they brainwash them. They torture them. They take them into these schools to educate them, make you more of a man. It's all fear. Everyone's so fucking afraid. And even then, those are all humans. They all have love for their family. Kind of reminds me of like in the mafia movies. There's always a guy that you're like, damn it, this guy's bad. And then you find out that he was just like doing all this nasty shit because the mafia was threatening to murder his wife and kids. It's like, oh, yeah, you got him by the balls there. That man's going to do whatever, because who wants to willingly say, nope, I will not do these atrocities because they are not right. I don't care what you do. The life of all these other people you would have me ruin is not worth more than the life of my wife and 2 kids. Like, that takes a real level of dedication to love and to life, to do something like that. Like, that's fear. That's what fear can do. And fear isn't even fucking real. When you know truth, there's nothing to fear. But they didn't know truth. Adolf Hitler did not know truth. That man was spitting the complete opposite. We are all one. Do you see how all the suffering on this planet comes from fear, from body identification, from manipulation of our brothers and sisters, from warfare? Oh, I got another good one. That'll be another video though, because I'm almost at 20 minutes, and this was really beautiful to be here with you and to have you engaging with my musing. I would love to hear any comments you might have. Let's have some discourse. Hop in the comments. This is, we're playing with words, playing with form, playing with philosophy and spirituality, and it's all a play. One more thing I'll say. Another metaphor, another analogy. The way that we're identified with our bodies in this life is very similar to like actors in a play. The soul is the actor, and the character they're playing is like, hi, I'm Nicholas Balsero, born in 1990. I'm Cuban and Palestinian lineage, and I live on planet Earth in Miami, Florida. Like all these things, it's like, oh, that's all part of the identity, but that's just the character that my soul is playing this round. And racism and discrimination and body identification is very similar to like the actor getting super pissed at something that the other character says, taking it personally, going off script, and starting to like actually get in a fight. And that kind of convinces the other actors that they're also their characters and they defend themselves. And it's insanity, right? When you see it like that. Also think of it like a video game. You create your avatar. You're like, yeah, I want my character to look like that and be like that. All right, cool. I'm going in now. And, memory wipe, because that's the game. We can't have free will if we don't know what the fuck we are, right? And so we come into the game and same deal. Same deal. Imagine you're playing a video game and someone's like, hey, your character has no life. Your character sucks. Character looks dumb. If that triggers the heck out of you, then you're identifying with something you made, with something that isn't you. Have compassion for yourself. Have compassion for others. The world will not heal with more violence and more fighting and more hate. Really hear that one. Really feel that one. How many times, it's like they say, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. I like that one. Because it doesn't happen the same exact way, but it's very similar. And the rhyme for me is violence, war. It's like, it's so funny to me. It's like, okay, in the name of peace, we will employ the exact opposite energy of peace in order to achieve peace. That doesn't work that way, silly. That's like saying, in the name of heat, I am going to be cold to be hot. What? I don't know if that was a bad analogy or not, but that just sounds dumb. Who'd do that? Why you do that? How many times will humanity have a war in the name of peace and then be like, what? We had peace for like 5 years, but now these other guys and they're related to those guys. And yeah, violence begets violence. Oh, there's a fire. Let's put it out. Bring some more fire. Why don't you throw in some fucking logs and firewood and kindle and some gasoline while you're at it? Let's see if it blows out. Nope. Peace. Find it. Cultivate it. Plant the seeds within yourself. Don't allow any violent urges to come up. Or rather, I rescind that. There's a lot of karma. There's a lot of allow who you are. Love who you are. Watch. Watch as that shit comes out and observe. Because that's all we can do. The way that we change is by observing and really looking. If there's places in your life you're like, no, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to think about that. La 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 la. Maybe that's it. Use that as your compass. Whatever gives you that weird feeling, you're like, oh, this is uneasy. I don't want to see this. This feels bad. You might be avoiding something. Even if it's coming out in yourself. You watch it. Observe it. You look at it. The more you do so, the more you are learning. The more you are knowing. And when you really know something, when you really know peace, when violence attempts to arise in you, you look at it and be like, oh, that's so backwards. No, I don't. I release this. And you just forgive. You forgive yourself. You forgive whatever the object in your mind is that you're making of someone else. Remember, we're all one. We're all just mirrors of each other. All right, it's 25 minutes now. I'm on a morning rant here, channeled rant. It's all of this is really blessing me just to speak this, just to share this. I appreciate you being with me. If you're still here, thank you. I love you. Bless.